Hello again, friends. Welcome to the studio, AquaDream from sunny Vietnam. Today, we'll explore more. My collection of other 16 aquariums. Well, let's get started soon. Since we have many aquariums to explore, I want to say a lot of things. Let's go so. Well, we will continue my review with this 40-centimeter shallow aquarium. It will already be a year old in August. Here I only have a quarter pig 1 lives. Shrimp is not here. We'll have to add. Buying a small colony of shrimp doesn't hurt here. This aquarium is also low-tech, without filtering, with no aeration from plants I have here with Bucephalandra. Over there in the background, Bucephalandra brownie. From the very beginning I planted her. And here on the wood upstairs. A little leaves here from the conditioner dried up. But it is still growing very well. Also, Anubis on appetite has grown really good here. And initially I'm here, in my opinion, planted Christmas moss. And it didn't really take root here. In general, I replaced it with my favorite fountain, and the fountain just grew perfectly. Such a beautiful green hat. Here a little. But this is weeping moss. It's a little bit here on the stone I planted, but here it grows in length. You would have to trim it. It is why he grew so long. Well, you can collect it like this and is planted in my bag. And it lets the dogs here on the front. By the way, it looks very much nothing. I will not cut it from here. Let it grow like this beautiful low weed. Also, at the very beginning I was planting Hydrophila but here. Since the aquarium was new at the start, Hydrophila did not want to grow and died. Most likely if you already have now, when already biosystem is fully restored, aquarium living his life, to the system fully works on itself. I think that if I plant Hydrophila now, she will grow perfectly. Also here upstairs, Anubis started coming out in air form, growing up here. Here at the very beginning I planted Hammering out of Deformis. Hammering out of Deformis is also bad. Grew up at the very beginning at the start of the aquarium because the water parameters were unstable. But now it began to let new leaves. Growing up in air form looks beautiful. Now I will bring his new green leaves closer. So again, it's a plant. At the start of a new aquarium it may not grow. But then it acclimates. When biosystem recovers, it's starting to grow, but it grows here. I have good in air form. Here the first planted a hemianthus. First Uit. Here Itis' leaves come out in air form too. I haven't cut it in a while. Here in this part one also have Bulbit from Deforms. Here Itis beautiful, with new leaves. Growing up here she is Bucephalandra in air uniform. Little bit leaves dried. Now in summertime I use conditioner in studio. Also it's sleepless on appetite. Looked green beautiful. But again because of the air conditioning. On this part of the tree. Water dries hard fast. And it dried up a little. But it will recover in fall and winter time. Here I have a little bit of moss also growing on a tree. Like me, when moss grows on a tree in air form. In half-year form. Behind me there are thickets of Gamianthus for the first time. Also Tonellin is growing everywhere in the bag. And a little bit of Cryptocarina cup. Also recently I'm from leftovers. Fern here planted on a tree. It feels great because the aquarium is already 1 year old. Here biosystem is fully restored. So no problem with him. Well, the next shallow 30-centimeter aquarium to him also soon. At the end of summer it will be a year. This is Woe Aquarium. So next time, when you will admire your aquarium, don't forget to thank these invisible heroes of bacteria for their vital contribution to your aquarium. Life. So friends, look how much space new I now have. If you remember, I told you that before I had shelves here, in which my turtle has fallen twice already, under plant terrariums. plant terrariums I don't already do. Me focusing on the aquarium, I decided to save a budget in which I had shelves under tables for aquariums. Look what beauty turned out. Originally those shelves were of soft material, which been covered in mold. The first time she destroyed everything, he categorically did not fit. Right now I have only this ball standing here, but I'll move it over to that corner. Over that corner I also converted from shelves. In the table I made beautiful countertops. That came out much cheaper. They are strong, I will still bond. These tables are between a strong wire, so they are stable. This new space I want to use only. I had to almost redo it again. For aquariums, with Serve-Zo2. These will be my first aquariums, with additional feeding system. So I'm creepily excited. I can't wait to start. Aquariums will be undersized. Tables that is, 3 big. Projects await us with you ahead. The second time she fell. So don't forget to subscribe. And see you again in new big projects. If you like the second part, turbo all over my aquariums like this video, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget that I made a list, some materials and tools, which you can also order them yourself. So follow the links in the description. Am I even into this video? Do your shopping. And good luck to you with your aquariums. Couldn't believe what had happened again. But thank God the second time she did not have time to destroy. So much everything is like the first time. So I still had to work to replant, plant. Well, in general, like this now. Turtle aquarium completely protected from escape the turtle. So now I'm confident that nothing will happen to that aquarium. That's also here I have Quarter lives over there, he sits on a pebble. Here also very pretty. The shrimp I had lived. Really pretty. Very bright red. I think the light affected her colors, which I'm using here. This aquarium is also in low tech, only 30 centimeters long, so no filter needed here. Volume is very small. We'll need to purchase a small colony because it began to form. Seaweed on pebbles, and it would be good for the shrimp to work. And brushed it on the back. I have a gym in here with Monte Carlo. By the way, feels good here. Slowly growing. Also at the very beginning I was planting but still here grass needs an additional feed. At first it grows well too. Then it starts to fade. So hardgrass I practically whole cleaned up and replaced it with Liliops. Here it is, I have Liliopsis there all over the bag, together with Monte Carlo. Here on the front it also grows. Here are thickets of Mophantanus, and here is a beautiful Butsyko bush small. Such a Buchicanana. Very small. Very cool. Been getting a haircut recently. Here I have on the whole back growing. Here is this bamboo muzzle Kissick. Very nice plant, growing in all conditions. Perfect for a low-tech aquarium. Helps a lot at the start of because of its rapid growth. Grows very high. Grew by me about 30 probably centimeters. So recently I'm his cut and trim planted here everywhere to look beautiful. Also over there I have because of the air conditioner. The air conditioner is just now in summertime this way. Here the tips of the leaves began to dry. Water levels go down a lot. When I'm not in the studio it starts to dry up. But it's okay. It will recover later. Not in summertime. And everything will be alright. So we go in circles. And it's time to show you my Marvel. Marvel, come here, show how big you have already become. Well, Kyle, let's say hi. Hello everyone. Hi Marvel. Hi, look how big you became, beautiful. Oh Marvel, that I just did not write about you. Swallow sand from me and die. And that your aquarium will be a swamp. That some poop and it will swim. Then I just did not write about this aquarium. The fact that some viewers are inattentive. They wrote to me that you have no UV lamp. Boshi was from the start. In the video I showed it all. Marvel, and now tell all what are viewers. You? I already have a big one. Healthy nothing you swallowed. And the water you have over there is so clean in the aquarium. And everything is fine with you. The only thing is that he started growing. And how did it increase in size? He started going over the back and wall. Fall according to my aquariums. So you see, I have already poured a high wall of stones. All transplanted back. Here I have a Chihiros grow. Also I have, from indoor plants in the studio, a lot of Spotphila. So I'm transplanting the kids here on the back wall. Tuhi also, since it's growing fast. He helps very well in filtering is grown water. Already a green wall. Also I planted snaps here. Kissing from other aquariums. After suspension. Well, basically everything. Only inhibitors with pathophil. And Merdania Kessick. I have here such a green wall forms. In general, it's time for Marvel to go into nature. He's already quite grown up. I wanted to circle him this summer to find a reserve. They're big, beautiful, safe lake. And let him free float. But since summer this year has been so hot, until I drive so far from the city, I don't want to. While you still stay with me, but I will still find you safe place for your adult life. Yes, Marvel, well, say bye-bye to everyone. So well, and next, my ball is 35 by 35 centimeters. He's been a little over a year. Bucephalandra skate. Here I live to Rose's tetra. Out they are swimming in the background. And also to giant right police shrimp. Hope you see them. Maybe one of them will swim now in the front. And not just huge size. At the very beginning, at the start of this aquarium, biobalance in it was restored much then in other aquariums. And all this has to do with, what did I hear, use a very large piece of water. Respectively because of that. What I use here, a lot of Bucephalandra. And Bucephalandra loves clean water. And Bucephalandra is bad. Part of her died. So I needed to wait. When fully biobalanced, and now she feels fine. Also, I have Anubis nanopedis. Here's Bucephalandra everywhere. Also, Tenelium here on the whole front. Here comes the muzzles. Kissig I planted from another aquarium, but he's not growing very well here somehow. And in general, I do not like how he looks here. I'll pull him back out. Also, I had Fantanus, and I planted him here. The first time I planted Fantanus here, a little bundle. He is very beautifully green. Green hat grew. I liked it so much that from the last of his draft I also have. There was a little bit of this moss. True, this moss was not very good quality. Already was brown color. But I planted him and he already started to turn green. So we will wait. When he grows a beautiful beanie and all surface of this. Of a big tree. We'll buy Ma. Also a little boutiques I have here upstairs. Here I planted a boutique at the very beginning. Here she does not want to grow. And maybe not the type of Bucephalandra I choose. Not all in this aquarium like standing water. Different types of Bucephalandra. I still added aeration. And in this aquarium right there here I have bubbles. Go away and create a little water movement. Since Bucephalandra still loves small water movement, but not all types of Bucephalandra. Some types of Bucephalandra I have grow perfectly. And water inflow. Totally not needed. But still I noticed the difference. Better Boss Philandra after. Started. Bubbles create. Small water movement. So well in the next ball. Also 35 by 35 centimeters. Bonsai scape. The link to the video will now also see on the screen. Go see. Who else did not watch? Here I lived to rainbow fish. And also Pinocchio shrimp. Also here was a Siamese seaweed, but he jumped out once. Somehow out of this aquarium and fell me underneath this aquarium in my aquarium and now he lives there. They are here and also a few Pinocchio shrimp were popping as well and got into this aquarium observed. Then he saved them from doom. That's why everyone is alive. Everyone is healthy. So here I also have Hemianthus Perute growing on the side. Recently he grew a huge cap to the surface of the water. I didn't cut it for a long time. There was a lot of poverty between him. In general, I was too lazy to brush it off. I cut it almost all just. And now waiting for him to rise back. Here also Tenellum on the whole front sprouted group. There my fern grows, a cryptocarine and parva and wood. Everything in Anubis is nanopetite. That's such a bonsai beautiful. Most of the light I have here is on Hemianthus Pearl. Because he likes a lot of light. So he grows very well. But Anubisu and in this part, Kryptonic Steam. And Tinylum basically doesn't need a lot of light. That's where there's less light it grows shorter. Where there's more light it grows longer. This is how it turns out. Scape with elevation here, and the tree goes to the bottom. Here it looks very much nothing. Well, the next aquarium Pladar mine for more than a year. Here at the very beginning in the back I had a plant. I do not remember her what it is called. In my opinion, it is some of the human family. It was very beautiful. Grew very nicely. But after a few undercuts, ended up stopping growing, and I cleaned it completely. Then I planted here a red man. Humans just grew into a huge bush. Really pretty. Very was red bright. And again after 2 or 3 undercuts, she stopped being so beautiful and growing so intensely. Since the aquarium is without extra feed as many as 2. So I replace. Now on Merdania Kissick, which grows perfectly. On my back. Here I still have a red human, which grows slowly, and I hope that will go into air form and still form in the back some kind of beautiful parwa over there. Because this aquarium is shallow, her leaves decreased accordingly in sizes and steel lower, and turned out such beautiful bushes. Here I have a cryptocarino made of wood also. At the very beginning I was planning Biodiversity here. Did not want to at first. Here if you plant her now, when the biosystem is fully restored, water parameters and stable, I think that she will quite beautifully grow, which I will probably do in the near future. Here on the tree I grow Ficus pumila. Not growing as fast as I expected. Still need more moisture, since the tree is coming out hard into air form. And now with air conditioning it dries a lot, and ficus is missing. Moisture to grow. But aquarium is always patience, and so we will wait. So well, and the next is my very first December of the 22nd year. Gymnanthus Monte Carlo is growing already true, not so bright and thick as at the very beginning, since trace elements became less in the substrate, but look still photosynthesis pass. Air bubbles rise. He is still growing. By the way, the hierograph is also growing fine here. It doesn't grow back, doesn't let mustache, but at the same time he holds on. These green beautiful bushes, sometimes they become brown or getting obsolete. I clean them presophones, and new green bushes are formed. And what is the most interesting and amazing in this scape? That Hemianthus Monte Carlo sprouted all over the bag, on the whole back shadow part, which I totally didn't expect from him. Now I will show you. Here she is, the whole background. Look up, how thick and green rug he grew here. There is not as much light as on the front, but still he grows here perfectly. I have here BTW Amano shrimp. Here they his. Thank God not eating. They apparently have enough algae formations and they clean up on stones. And perhaps they also have enough old leaves of Monte Carlo. And fresh leaves Monte Carlo they do not touch. Also I had only one left here. The other two died, one got sick, and the other for some unknown reason just died. Also snails as usual, as in all aquariums Niletine. That's one of my favorite scapes. I love Iwagumi scapes. It looks lovely. So, but in this is one of my recent balloons. If you have not seen the video, link will see now. I made him in February of this year. Here is this smallest aquarium, only 17 centimeters wide, and because of its small size, usually here for a long time there are small algae problems. If you see such a green small cannon covered, but at the same time its algae doesn't kill him. And despite its meager size of this aquarium, look, I have a huge colony of yellow shrimp. They bred I just have in huge numbers. Look it up, just a whole swarm of beautiful, cute yellow shrimp. So I guess that soon there will be very little space and you will need to transfer them to while they out here liking the water parameters apparently contributes to the shrimp food and in period. Throwing them feed. Do they eat it? Because there are just a huge amount of them here. But I don't always have time to feed Monte Carlo is still growing here, but they eat it up. That is, the leaves he has became quite small. In some places there are even gaps. So I guess that I need to feed them more often so they don't touch Monte Carlo. At the very beginning I ran here yellow shrimp. 5. If you remember my short videos, then I showed in them what appeared babes. And see these babes, no longer kids, already adults, independent shrimp, who eat my Monte Carlo. So specially started with a major Here it is another Iwagumi project. That one. Together with which I did the previous little Iwagumia. Here's a look. Specially made a close-up. This shrimp was beautifully visible on the stone. Well, what here I still only have cherry shrimp. Cubs, they are here. They don't make me. Therefore, Hemianthus Monte Carlo I have here in order. Airbrush also feels good. A little brown leaves appeared. But it's okay. I will collect them and new and fresh ones will appear. Basically everything here is unchanged stones. Purist. I think. That shrimp and snails, those rocks clean very well. Due to the fact that the volume of water here is more than in Little Iwagumi. Here's such algal fouling. Never had one. Wasn't even at the very beginning. By the way, if you here, you see little. Tiny. Creatures swim here in this aquarium in the water. Those are water fleas. They show up at my aquarium sometimes. This suggests that the biosystem is favorable. Water quality is good. So if you notice these creatures in their aquarium, do not be scared means everything is fine with more you. Aquariums. Let's move on to my 25 centimeter and I made it in April of the 23rd Originally year. I planted Taiwanese but he didn't grow up very well. Perhaps this is due to the fact that the aquarium water parameters were unstable. In general, I replaced it with a fountain. And here it has grown very much. Generally, he needs to be trimmed. That's a little bit even fuzzy on it began to form. Shrimp doesn't work well. I have one yellow shrimp living and here is the sponge one. So it needs to be trimmed shorter. Better stick to a tree. Because he started to lag behind him. Behold, it grew, and there were stones all over the tree. Going down. In general is growing very well. Also here is his piece creeping down the bottom. Here I have Volus Neria, which has adapted to the size of this aquarium and the back she is more genuine. But here are small such short bushes. And if it grows long I rip it out. And after that it grows shorter. Also Gymnanta spirulata period I cut it too. Because it grows high and blocks and also I had here growing up. Lidwiga here. She's still here. But not as much as it was. Still not always she grows well. And she doesn't like undercuts. In low-tech aquariums without CO2. Starts bad after trimming a few plants. But so far she is. Still growing. But just not as bright and not as much as it was at the very beginning. Well, the next is my 30 centimeter cube. I made him in April of the 23rd year. He has been for over a year. At the very beginning here. At this part I was planting Cobomb. But Cobomb, she's growing too fast. Growing good. But then, her leaves start to fall. These leaves float everywhere. In general, after trimming, she already doesn't look that curvy. In general, I removed it and replaced it with a gymnot. First you would here. I planted him a little too. Also in the beginning I had a higher grass here. Higher grass grew well at first, but then stopped growing. And what's weird? The fact that my higher grass grows well and round. Aquariums without filter. But in aquariums with a filter I have it for some reason. Not growing, what does it have to do with? I cannot answer for sure yet. Also I have Anubis nanopeditus bucephalandra here. Here are the leftovers. Fern from other projects I planted on a tree. Also planted my Phantanus on the tree. And planted to pieces of a new bucephalandra. And she is very beautiful. Very good now growing. Very bright, feel just fine. All because the aquarium is this for a year. Biobalance is restored here. Water parameters stable. There is water flow, and she looks just amazing. Here's a look. Also, I have Boo's Philandra, Longleaf, over there and over there inside the tree. I do not know whether you will see or not. There also my beautiful Philandra is growing. Here it is a little bit getting out of this side. Here I live a corridor. And two Oman shrimp, which by the way, my gymnatos is pearlwhit, but now everyone hid. Can't see anyone. Leafy red is still bright. Beautiful, feels good. Also, along with this Iwagumi I was planting at the very beginning. Leadership, but then stopped her growth. Perhaps they were struggling with this people for growth and in the end. And perhaps because the aquarium water parameters were unstable. In general, she did not grow as I wanted. But here is red Iwagumi. Still bright, beautiful. It means trace elements in the substrate. The aquarium is not that old yet. But gradually after the next since this is a low-tech aquarium Iwagumi. And so now let us move on to my big 60 centimeter cubic which I did in November of the 22nd year. And in this aquarium BTW external filter, I haven't opened since I made this aquarium. I wanted in this video to open it and show what's going on inside there after but the video so turns out too long. So next time in the next draft, I will definitely make a video. Let's see what has accumulated there for all this time. Here I have copper notebooks and red barbs. Also, I used to plant rainbow fish here. But rainbow fish, apparently, couldn't live with red barbs, and either they were jumping up, either they just disappeared. I didn't even see their corpses. So still only copper and those. Witch and red barbs. Here live from plants I have here with and Anubis is nanopetite. Here Cryptocoron is long behind me Volesneria nano is growing. At the very beginning it overgrown. It was very green and bright. Now after so much time, she already lost her color, but still growing. That's the way her antennae go over. That's in such a small shape. Also, if you remember, I posted short video I was hooking up. Here Liliopsis. Here and here for that part. He feels fine. Also I planted a Rio pendant. Who say it grows? With only extra serve Zo2. But here I planted it. And by the way, there's not much light here. He grows a short little bush, but at least nothing happens to him. He does not perish. He is still growing means a small content CO2 to him quite. Also enough on top of me. Over there lily spreads on the surface of the water. Well, now let's move on to my biggest ball. I made him in September 2022 year. Everything is basically fine here, but he is already straight quite old. Plants are already growing not so active, like at the very beginning. Here at me and Kabamba. Here's Kabamba looking good. And beautiful Landra, not to say that she is in perfect condition. in perfect shape. But still, growing new leaves appear. Green Ludwigs I have here as well, in the background. At the very beginning when I grew a red man, and grew very well, was juicy red. Such beautiful bushes were thereby for this scape. The shade is very beautiful, but with time, somewhere in a year and a half, she started after numerous undercuts and it was not so red. I tried planting anew or moving and again, because this aquarium, without additional CO2, she no longer regained her height as the very beginning. At the start of a new aquarium, first natural carbon dioxide content, and also all trace elements large in the substrate, so plants grow very well. But now the human red already so grow well. I cut her again in the background. Scraps more or less beautiful plants. Suddenly she still changed her mind. Grow again. Well, let's see. If it is not, then I will still plant this one. Green people. She looks very beautiful. Here her also to the background. Plant a big bush. Also Tanlu planted here on the front. He's growing well. Here they let sleep all around the circumference of the aquarium. To this aquarium I also added the plants are no longer growing so actively, respectively do not release oxygen so actively. And here are my red-nosed tetra. It seemed to me that they lacked oxygen. When I come, the light turns on in the aquarium. I think that they act as if they're suffocating. So to avoid their death, I added aerations. And now they feel fine. So friends, there are only 2 aquariums left. I hope you are still with me. Did not escape. I hope I'm not tired of you. So the next aquarium is which I did this February aquarium. How do you remember? So here from the changes. Here remember, thin such twigs here were. Along the entire length of the aquarium. They went out like this. Eventually, over time, water dissolved into, and in general now the tree looks not like so at the beautiful. Very beginning. But I will know. Apparently with water these twigs dissolve gradually and fall thin, because I used the same in the next round aquarium, which I will show you, and I think that in standing still water, nothing will happen to them. And they will also remain full hard. So here, in principle, everything is fine. Busfolandro, I have let a lot of new leaves in there. Everything is very good. Out here with self-weight. Also everything is fine. Here is Carpicarina steam. Her leaves were falling at the very beginning, and she turned into a short, beautiful bush. Here I will show now. Here you see how beautiful she is. Thick short bush began to grow, looking very beautiful. Behind me also have Tinaloo. I ambushed the whole back over there and here. I also have Liliopsis over there. But the fact is that I planted a lot of shrimp. They began to breed in my aquarium, and a huge variety of shrimp. And they are all different from each other, different colors and colors. In general, because of the large number of shrimp. Despite that, what I feed here and fish and they began to cover my Liliopsis and also Tenalamas here. And maybe it has to do with that. That shrimp eat him up. Perhaps it has to do with the flow of water. But Tenalam here grows short. And in my round aquariums with standing water, Tenalam always grows in big tall like bushes. This here. Also remember here, I bought these babies here. I bought a lot of them. But unfortunately, since it's a shallow water aquarium, there were a lot of them jumping up from the aquarium. Unfortunately, I was terribly upset. But now I know. That shallow water aquarium either is best to buy, and it is better to buy from fish. Hallways. The types of fish that mostly are at the bottom and floats on the bottom. That is, they will definitely not jump out. But I still have 4 or 5 pieces here. There are them here are also but the corridors is spite all hid. I do not see them. None float out. So now I lines try to take different types of shrimp, show you, which I have here needed. Also I have some shrimp manx here, which also help a lot here in the perch. Also the moss fountain I have here has grown. He creeps all nicely over the wood. Goes down with such a beautiful green hat. Anubis from the water form goes up here. Look up. Goes into air form here. On this twig I planted a small bush and well forest, and look, how has it grown already? In air uniform. Looks amazing. Also I was planting a fern here. And what I did not expect is that he will start to go into such large leaves. Looking very beautiful. That's what I definitely didn't expect. Because he was petty, I thought that he would stay in the water. Apparently he lacks space there, so he started going upstairs. Also Muzzles Kissick recently he was getting a haircut. Now I have this big green beanie here from Merdania Kissick. Here, if you remember, at the very beginning I planted a palm tree like that, either because she was in a fight with Merdania Kissick for space, either just didn't suit her substrate of this aquarium. In general she grew. And one day she just withered and died. So friends, well finally our journey is coming to an end. And the last one is my recent balloon. Which I did in April of this year. Here I live 3, Hengel Analysis, are enjoying their new home. Here you see Claw. Compared to previous shallow water aquarium. Big bright green bushes he grew here. Also I have remember Anubis here. They're Cryptokalinko. At me. Moss fountain has grown very well. About the 3rd week began to form. thin brown algae on it. But gradually she left. After another water change, gradually she began to leave. Behind there is Merdania Kisic when fully submerged in water. It does not grow out, like in my shallow water aquariums. Here's a little bit he increased, but he doesn't go outside. That is, and it stays in the water. Nothing happens to him, everything is fine. Tenelon periodically lets his mustache forward, so they grow there. I did not want the front part to overgrow. If remember in the front. Here I was planting Monte Carlo at the very beginning. His system was unstable. Water parameters were unstable. He died here. He did not grow so here. I removed it quickly, so he doesn't rot all over and mess up. Strongly water I guess that now when already be his system restored. Start past if I plant him then now. He seems to me quite will grow, but there will be remnants of planting. Will in principle the scape looks very beautiful. Here they are, these thin twigs, as long as nothing happens to them. I hope they stay that way. Friends who often say and praise my tap water, which I use to keep all their aquariums, and praise the purity and transparency of my water. My opinion is following. That tap water is not the most important thing. The most important thing is to create which will work for itself, and the aquarium will clean itself. Will also clean your tap water. To say that in Vietnam the water is some special, here I categorically can't. The water here is totally not clean. Water bodies here are polluted. No one uses tap water here. So talk about that. Then I have magic tap water. The most important thing is to make your aquarium right. Create an ecosystem in it. And also, do you know that a thriving aquarium is not just about fish or plants? Which do you use? It's also home to millions of beneficial bacteria who play key role in maintaining healthy system in your aquarium. Those are microscopic basis of the nitrogen cycle. They turn harmful waste, such as ammonia, less toxic substances. Beneficial bacteria colonize surfaces, such as gravel, filter materials, and decorations. Therefore, when creating an aquarium, it is important to create conditions for growth and the lives of these bacteria. So for the first layer, must use either lava stone, either river sea pebbles, either. Also I remember what I used regular karamzite, and also everything worked very well. These bacteria work tirelessly to decompose fish waste, food residues, and plant residues, keeping your water clean and transparent and your water friends happy.